Ronnie gets the feed broadcast to the appropriate pages. That's always part of the process here. And then we have some neat maps to show you. Ronnie's going to be doing a big article later with a whole lot of pictures of kids very excitedly going to school. I did a picture of my kids going to school today, which I'll show everybody while Ronnie is.
That absolutely cracked me up, John.
Yeah, we'll do that. There you go. There's the picture of my kids going to school. I took that picture this morning. Very exciting. And I hashtagged it. I'm not a believer in hashtag, but I actually hashtagged it. And I said, I think I said empty nest syndrome or something, empty nesters. So, yeah, I was surprised. I didn't think it was that funny, but it's getting a good response. So I guess I'm funnier than I thought I was. So, so we did that. And yeah, I saw the kids across the street. I went over and said hello. They were all the parents were out there with the umbrellas saying goodbye, putting their kids on the bus. So that was fun. We have a fun neighborhood with a lot of young kids. So first day of school is always a very big deal. 1 down and 179 to go. So so that happened. And
well, I don't have anybody. I did not do the same witty kind of thing as you did this morning, John, but I did go to Wolcott and I took lots of photos of smiling kids smiling behind their masks on the first day of school.
And they're all, it's full mask mandate. It's full mask mandate, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And unlike a community in Portland, we did not fire our superintendent over that, which is good. So Tom Moore, you're safe for another day. So till the next crisis.
Look, I did see Tom Moore at Wolcott this morning.
Did you? Okay. He's great.
But my photo of my kid going to school was on Monday. My son began his second year of graduate school, and he did allow me to take a photo of him in the kitchen before he left to go to school. So I did get a first day of school.
Did you get him to hold a little sign up? You know?
He did not, but
first day of second year of grad school. Yeah.
I think he might have been wearing his Yukon Department of Public Policy mask.
Okay.
So we're all populated now, so we're ready to start talking.
All right, super. And then yeah, just on this note, while we're talking about schools, Sydney also started her second year of grad school. They're the same age, Sam and Sydney. And then David went back to Endicott, and he's there and only a little bit miserable. So, but he's back there. So, all right. So why don't you give us, I know we touched on it, but give us so you went to, where'd you say you went to Walcott this morning?
So yeah, I went to Walcott this morning and actually ran into Tom Moore and Eric Dempsey, the director of security. Both happened to be there at the same time. But it was a great first day of school at Wolcott. The principal was greeting everyone that he could see. They had organized it so that instead of their gazebo ceremony, which they normally have with the entire school population, parents and all the kids, they had each teacher greet the students at the outdoor doors to their classrooms. So all of the Wolcott classrooms have doors that lead to the outside. So that's where the parents and kids went, and they met the teachers. It was a really nice, like, intimate way for the teachers and the students to connect and the families to connect on that first day. They have 25 new students, and they also have a pretty good number of students who were in the remote learning experience last year coming back to in-person classes. And they had a meet and greet. And
25 new students, these are people coming from the outside. These are not kindergartens, obviously, right? Or
correct.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah, 25 students new to the school, not counting kindergartners.
Yeah, I'm curious, we have to get Tom on and talk to him about enrollment. I bet enrollment's way up, isn't it?
Enrollment is up. It is up more than 100. It was, as of this morning, he thought about 9,300. They actually don't give enrollment figures really until October because there's a lot of changes in the very beginning of the year as things sort themselves out. Right. But I'll be reporting on that from the Board of Education meeting in early October.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And let's also, we'll get, we're trying to get dates squared away for shows, and we keep bumping into holidays here. And, but we do have shows coming up. We're currently working with the TV people. We're working with the town people. We're working with 5 different groups of people who are trying to get dates scheduled. But once we get into late October, I think we'll get these shows, that September rather, I think we'll get these shows up and running again fairly regularly, because we have a line of people who are either asking to be on or we have to get on. We've got the Republican candidates, we've got the independent candidates, we've got Tom Moore, we've got, of course, Mayor Cantor and Matt Hart, the town manager. So we have a lot of guests queued up, and it's just now a matter of finding the dates and the studio time, and also complying with mask mandates, because a couple of these are going to be town hall style. And we need to comply with town mask mandates. So we have that going on. So, all right. Well, thank you for the recap on the schools.
One more school point.
Yeah.
I just, before we go, of concern to a lot of people statewide is a problem with bus driver shortages. And we do not have that problem in West Hartford. I had spoken with both Tom Moore and Andy Morrow, who's the assistant superintendent of administration, last week, and they had been assured that we had all of the routes filled in West Hartford, and sure enough, this morning there were drivers for every single route. And while some buses were late because of traffic and because,
right, well, also getting used to the route. It's first student, right? Do we still use first student?
We use first student, and then specialty transportation does some of the smaller routes. But there was no problem with bus drivers for West Hartford Public Schools this morning. So that's a very good thing to report.
Another win for Tom Moore. Another day protected in his job. So there we go. So I better stop picking on Tom Moore, because he's not here to defend himself.
So now you can. I'm going to drink coffee in my CT News Junkie mug.
We have to go WeHa mugs. So we're gonna work on that. That's a major priority for as we start to hopefully get closer to having more and more studio shows. So anyway, all right. So let's talk about the weather. A lot of rain coming in. The system is really flattened. It's kind of pancaked. I don't know if that's a technical weather term, but it's really flattened out. I thought the rain would get here early to mid-afternoon. It arrived at 8 a.m. this morning, and that's because the system is just the rain's running far, far, far out in front. So I'm going to show a couple of maps here. Ronni, okay. I thought for a second I did something wrong with the video. So we're going to disappear for a minute, and we're going to bring up a couple of maps. Trying to do this smoothly. So this is what's known as a current surface map, and this is a National Weather Service map. And you can see, again, sometimes my pointer works, sometimes it doesn't. Ronni, let me know if you see the pointer, but you can see that 1002 right over that red L.
Yep, I see the pointer.
Okay, good. So that's the center of what's left of Ida, and she is marching pretty well to the northeast at this point. I had mentioned in yesterday's written forecast, there's a couple of frontal boundaries. There's one right here, which you can see from west to east, and then another little one that's just kind of slipped in from the north, and that's helping now. Actually, it's not working out well for us. If this one, I didn't think it would get here, it did, but the one to the north, it's kind of helping bring the rains a little farther south than planned. So we are, kind of back into the wheelhouse where we're looking at getting substantial rain, and it's going to really get going early to mid-afternoon, and then it's going to really, wind up overnight. And then the good news is tomorrow, I think, is going to look better. We'll be on the back end of this thing. Originally, we thought Thursday was going to be the worst of the 2 days, but now it's looking better. And then I'm going to click over to, I managed to do this so smoothly with no dead air. I'm so proud of myself. This is one of my Futurecast maps that I use. And this is kind of live. This is as of Wednesday's 8 a.m. As soon as I click off this page, I won't be able to go back to it because the time has expired. I left it up to show, but that's where the storm is. You can see the rain was just coming in, and you can see Western Pennsylvania was really getting the heavy stuff. And then we fast forward to 2 this afternoon. Central Pennsylvania is going to be really getting the worst of it. And then by 8 tonight, Eastern Pennsylvania, and you're going to see it's just on our doorstep. And many models are actually showing that very dark blob of heavy precipitation. It's going to be actually a little further east. So, and then I can fast forward. That's overnight Thursday.
That does not look good.
Yeah, the center is going to be right over us. So we're going to be feeling the winds overnight. But if you look at 8 a.m. tomorrow, it's really beyond us. I actually think I'm feeling better. When I saw the group outside this morning, I said, we could be looking at a school cancellation. Really it comes down to the two things, flooding and power outages. Those are the two things that are going to impact schools for tomorrow. But I think maybe we can dodge a bullet. We are going to see 35, 40 mile an hour winds. We are going to see heavy rain, but really the bulk of outages are probably going to be caused by trees or limbs coming down that are already kind of ready to come down. And this is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. It's overnight. There's going to be sporadic outages. Flooding is going to be the worst issue, kind of like what we saw 2 weeks ago. And then, you see here 2:00 in the afternoon. Hopefully that's still on screen. Yeah, it is. It's gone. I mean, it's gone. It'll be sunny tomorrow afternoon. And the other really, really exciting thing about this, September weather, to me, May and September, I think, are the two best months we have weather-wise. I prefer May. The days are longer. It's dark by 7:30 now, which is so funny, but or maybe 7:45. But it's going to bring in absolutely gorgeous September weather behind it. I mean, really cool, crisp, clear nights. You're going to want to wear a sweater. Days, low humidity in the mid 70s. I mean, and we're going to have, I'm just looking here, but I looked at this yesterday. We're going to have day after day of this. We're looking at, 6 or 7 days, and there might be a reinforcing cold front sometime early next week. So really, it could last, through next week too. So we're going to be in a really nice 10 or 12 day run here with 1 or 2 little disruptions. The only thing notwithstanding is any tropical activity. There are a couple other systems I'm keeping my eye on, but they're far enough away right now that we don't have to talk about them. So that's the scoop.
So it'll dry things out after we get this torrential rain. How much rain do you think we might get here?
It's going to dry it out, but it's going to dry it out and it's going to feel dry. Like unlike last week when the system came through, it was so gross and humid right behind it. And this is not going to be the case. These high pressure, this high, and then I can't zoom out on that. Let me see if I can zoom out on the map, but hang on. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit here. And let's make sure. No, I don't have it. The map doesn't have the proper perspective because it's a U.S. map. I'd have to pull a Canadian map, but there's a large dome of high pressure that's going to work its way down here and really dominate our area. So it's going to be really nice starting tomorrow afternoon. I mean, if you want to do a cookout tomorrow night or Friday night, I got my days right. Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous for doing it. Sit outside, enjoy the crisp, really autumn air. And we're going to
finally get the fire pit going, right?
Yeah. It's going to be good fire pit weather, good grilling weather. I mean, just, this is, weather-wise, I don't like fall. I think there's a whole psychological aspect. Kids going back to school, it's like the days are getting shorter, but I think, it's going to be darn nice around here for the next 10 or 12 days. And I'll take it. So, and I'm sorry.
John, I said, what's your estimate about how many inches of rain we're going to get?
It's really hard to tell. I mean, even just a few, I'm trying to bring you up, Ronnie, and I'm not doing a good job here. There we go. So it's really hard to tell. I mean, I'm really just going with what everybody's saying. It's probably 3 to 5. I will say this, and I don't like to create weather drama, but I also don't like to understate or risk understating in case I'm wrong. But we had 5 inches of rain in 2.5 hours here 2 weeks ago Thursday. So 2 weeks ago tomorrow. This is not that. This is going to be 5 inches of rain in 17 or 18 hours. So yes, there's going to be flooding, but it's not going to be that extreme 0 to 100 type flooding.
So hopefully the drain systems will be able to handle it a little bit better.
Yeah, and then Patty posted some tips, and the town manager posted some tips online. If you have a sewer drain near your house, even if it's your neighbor's or whatever, and it's clogged up with debris, shovel it, clean it out, do it now. While the rain's really light. Just look after each other that way. Make sure you have a half a tank of gas in your car in case there's a power outage. That sort of thing. And power outages can be very, very sporadic. There will be some, but there's not going to be a lot. It'll be maybe in the hundreds max for the town of West Hartford, and it'll be caused by trees, a tree coming down or something of that nature.
And I did ask Tom Moore how he thought the storm might impact school tomorrow, and he said probably what we can expect is maybe a few buses will have to reroute themselves due to roadway flooding, if at all, and they'll be very understanding about those kind of things. Yeah. But otherwise, he doesn't anticipate any problems with school on Thursday.
Right, they would only be caused by blackout or flooding. That's it. You're not going to call school because they're pouring rain, and it won't be pouring rain. It'll be pretty much over. But if there's a lot of standing water, or if there's lines down, or like if a telephone pole came down across North Main, up in Bishop's Corners or something, that's that's and also I should point out, I've worked this past storm. I worked very closely, and Ronnie and I had on both the mayor twice, and we had the town manager on once, and I spoke with the town manager, and he's got this town has oodles of resource in terms of being sure they're on top of all of the data, the weather data, knowing exactly what's going to happen where and when.
Is that a technical term, oodles?
Yes, oodle. That's a technical town term. So, but no, I really learned a lot talking with Matt Hart in terms of, they really do have, they pay for very high level protective services in terms of weather and forecasting and, anticipating and modeling of what could go wrong and that type of thing. So, they're on top of it. We can feel good. We got the right people doing the right things for the town. So anyway, so any last words? Big first day of school. You're gonna go to see dismissal too, Ronni, or is that it?
No. I'm gonna get my story written. And, got some other exciting things I'm working on today.
I did see on definitely check wehow.com, and then I did see on Enemies and Distant Cousins. Did you see they did their own version of the Business Buzz?
Oh yes, I've asked them to please take over doing my Business Buzz on Sunday.
Exactly.
So that comment got about 25 likes. So.
I'm sure. So I saw that yesterday. I got a kick out of it. So hey, you're not anybody until you're mocked by the enemy. So I think it's good. We've both had our moments of being mocked now, so that's a good thing. So.
Well, no, I've been mocked many times before. Sometimes I do it proactively when I know I have a post that is going to get fun poked at it. I'll send it in to the Enemies and Distant Cousins site in advance, just because I know that's going to happen.
Yep, just kind of brace yourself here.
That's okay.
So, all right. So that's it. Again, we'll be in touch on terms of when our next show is. We're just navigating the holidays. There was a bunch of them. And the last one, I guess, is on the 23rd now, if my calendar is correct and my sources are correct. So
right. So next week actually is, I don't remember this ever happening, but we have Labor Day Monday, school holiday, and then Tuesday is a day off for Rosh Hashanah. So next week, again, is only a 3-day week for the students.
So good for the kids. They're going to get a 4-day weekend. They deserve it. I mean, geez, they're going to be back in school 3 whole days. I think they deserve the big weekend. So anyway, so all right, Ronni, on that note, I am off, you're off, and we'll look for your article on wehow.com, and we'll see you.